Any questions, thoughts, comments?
Yeah, what about rape victims?
Yeah.
What do you say about that one?
Are you talking about the mom or her baby?
The mother.
Um,
If she doesn't want to carry a rape baby, because that's continuation of torture. If you got to, not only you've been raped by this person, but you're carrying the child for 9 months inside of you. That's continuous torture. That's insult to injury.
well,
It's an onslaught.
well here, consider this. Who's the guilty party in the case of rape? Who's guilty?
Who's guilty? The rapist, of course.
Okay. Who's the innocent party? There's two innocent parties.
I know one.
Hmm?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. There's two innocent parties. Who are the innocent parties in the case of rape?
I guess you would say the child as well.
And the child and?
Of course, the victim, the mother.
So so we've established that the guilty party is the rapist, and
Victim is the mother.
there's two
And the innocent part, innocent person.
and the innocent parties are the mom and child. So who should we put to death? With that established, who should we put to death? Who should we punish and
I
put to
already know
death?
where you're going with this, but my question is, why should a
Oh, can you
woman-
answer the question?
Okay.
Yeah. Who should we put to death now
I
that
don't
we've?
think no one should be put to death because, you know,
No one?
the Bible, the Ten Commandments says that should not kill. But
Well, it says you shall not
punishment,
murder. Actually, the Bible says to put the rapist to death.
It says that?
Yeah.
What chapter is this?
Yeah, it's let's see if I can
Check
recall. I
that
think yeah. What's your name, by the way?
Nico.
Nico and Nicholas.
I be having sweaty hands, man.
Oh, don't worry, I'm sweaty too. It's actually cooled off a little bit out here. I think it's, if I got it right.
Why you ain't got your camera on?
Why?
Yeah.
To document, and because I've been assaulted doing this kind of work, and I never know what people are going
It's
to do.
on?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see no green light nowhere.
Oh, what?
I don't see a green light. Normally
It's flashing. Let's see. Yeah, I was actually assaulted last year at a college campus. Had a sign stolen, and a guy came at me and destroyed another sign. And
Was you against abortion, or was you something else?
against murder, yeah, because I'm a Christian and a man. Let me see if I can find it. I got different passages regarding different, so I'm trying to keep them all straight in my mind. I think it's this one. Let me see here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got different passages for like dealing with rape, with slavery, and so I try to keep them all straight in my head.
Would you agree that there's a lot of contradictions inside the Bible?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
But I want to address. I may have to look it up on my phone because I.
But if you understand that, that's a contradiction in itself. If the Ten Commandments say thou shalt not kill.
Well, it says you shall not murder.
Right.
Yeah.
Same
Oh
thing.
wait, I think I said.
And then you go and say, oh, well, the murderer the rapist should be killed. That's
Well,
a contradiction. In itself.
No, but because if you're guilty of a crime worthy of being put to death,
That's not what the Ten Commandments say. That would be leaning to your own understanding, which also the Bible says, lean not to your own understanding.
Yeah. Well, because it says you shall not murder. Because it's not wrong. It's not always wrong to kill people. It's not wrong to kill people if you kill someone, if you're defending them, if you're defending like your family, or there are situations where it's
But
okay.
That's not what that book says, though. That's leaning to your own understanding, which also the book says, lean not to your own understanding.
No, it's just that's how it's, that's the proper translation. It's you shall not murder. Murder is, it's never okay to murder. Murder is when you never.
Okay.
Because murder is when you take someone's life with malice and aforethought, and which the Bible says that person, whoever sheds man's blood, by man shall's blood be shed. If you take someone's life with malice and aforethought, premeditated, that's murder. Oh, here we go. Is this it? Oh, here we go. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 22 says. Okay, yeah, Deuteronomy chapter 22, starting in verse 15. It says, but it, yeah, you have a Bible to follow along,
No,
or on your
I'm
phone?
gonna look it up
Yeah,
on
it's
my
Deuteronomy
phone.
chapter 22, the passage starts in verse 22, and it goes through 30, and starting in verse 25, you have the case where it's rape.
Deuteronomy chapter 22
yeah.
verse 15.
Starting in verse, the part where it talks about rape is starting in verse 25, but there's 3 cases in there: adultery, rape, and seduction.
Okay. I'm gonna check that out a little bit later.
In verse 25, it says, "Greetings, Nicholas."
Gio.
And Jim?
Gio.
Yeah. It's
Nico
and Gio. Okay. Nico and Gio. Okay. I'm trying to get better about names. Nico and Gio. Okay. It says in addressing the case of rape right now, and that the Bible says to put rapists to death. That's the context of what we're talking about right now. And so Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 25 says, but if in the field the man finds the girl who is engaged, and the man forces her and lies with her, then only the man who lies with her shall die. But you shall die, death penalty. But you shall do nothing to the girl. There is no sin in the girl worthy of death. For just as a man rises against his neighbor and murders him, so is this case. When he found her in the field, the engaged girl cried out, but there was no one to save her. And so you're welcome to look that up later.
Nothing of the child.
Well, I'm saying that.
So this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I asked him, if a woman gets raped and she becomes pregnant off the rape, is it a sin for her to want to abort the child? Because I feel like it's a continuation of onslaught of the perpetration if she has to carry the baby for 9 months.
Yeah.
That's trauma.
Well, one thing, but yeah,
it is an exception though in the law, like in Florida and stuff, that's actually an exception, like written down, like, oh, if you got raped or whatever, like they always. But like we're talking like sin, like about sin, right? Like if it's a sin to get an abortion.
Well, it is sin to murder your child, yeah, because God says you shall not.
I do believe it's a child.
Yeah, because God says you shall not murder, the 6th commandment. And but yeah, that's Deuteronomy chapter 22, and starting in verse 22, and the case of rape is addressed in verse 25 through 26.
But it's speaking nothing of the child.
Well, no, not the child. Just talking about in the case of rape, like. You're asking me.
Because that's what the question is. Well, was it okay for the woman to abort the child? Because
no,
I mean,
not to murder her child.
Do you think it's a life?
I'm killing that motherfucker. The motherfucker raped me. Excuse my language. I'm not keeping no rape baby.
Being honest.
And I'm not giving nobody my child. So then I have to carry the child for 9 months and then give it to somebody else. What woman giving her children away?
Well, we actually
equal opportunities. Like I don't know.
Well, I mean, Mother's Day is coming up in a week and a half. I mean, would you want to become a murderer for Mother's Day?
If I was raped, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Without question, just like that.
Well, think about this. Like, what? I mean, I've talked to moms who they found much healing through their child because by loving their child, because some you may not like some of these things I'm going to say, but just hear me out, because we live in a culture that hates rape, conceived children, puts them to death. Rape and abortion are wrong for the same reason, and that in rape you have a man, well, not even a man, a wicked guy that forces himself on a woman or a girl and abuses her and uses his body to violate her body. When a mom murders her baby, she's using her body to violate her baby's body inside her body. And
is it her baby?
So they're, from the moment of fertilization. And so you have both are acts of aggression by a bigger, stronger person against a weaker person, against a smaller, weaker person. Both involve acts of aggression and violence, rape and abortion when a mother murders her baby. And so when we encourage a mom to murder her child conceived in, if a child's conceived through the act of rape or incest, we're encouraging her to do basically what the rapist did to her. He violated your body, now you should violate your baby's body. And actually her baby is much weaker than she is, because there are women who have escaped the rapist, or they're able to fight back even somewhat. the baby can't has no defense whatsoever. Can't even, like, there are women who have been able to escape or scream for their lives when, and the the rapist would run away, or she would put up a battle. The baby can't do any of
What
that.
if she gave birth to a rapist? What if that was the some type of genetic marker?
Well, we don't know who a person. Yeah.
Right, we don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's a possibility, correct?
Well, the Lord
now
knows,
you've
but
been raped, and
we
now
shouldn't.
You gave birth to a raped baby because he has the traits of his father.
I mean, people who are pro choice always bring that argument. Like, I think it's like a fair
heard all the time.
deep argument to bring. Yeah, for sure. But that accounts for less than 1% of all abortions. So at that point, it's like
Less than
people
1%. You're right.
They're just doing it for
Convenience.
Convenience, yeah.
I know, because I watch moms going all the time.
Yeah, I totally understand. Both are not wrong, or both are not right. I mean, but that accounts for less than 1% of all abortions. So what about everyone else who's just doing it just cause?
That shit bags. I believe that.
And I don't think we're ever gonna get rid of abortion if I don't know.
Well, not if we keep
1% for all the 99% of people, killing a child essentially.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
And so it sucks. It's not going to lead to healing. It's going to lead to a guilty conscience that. What healing you could find through, if a child's conceived in the rape, put the rapist to death, and not the innocent baby. Love your baby. And I've talked to moms who love their children who were raped, and their child helped them to heal. Because it's what greater act of selflessness and sacrificial love than to say, this criminal, he violated me, but I'm going to love my baby. I'm not going to do to my baby what he did to me. I mean, and what heartbreak that you would do to your child, the same kind of violence, not the exact same violence, but you're going to violate your baby's body and murder him, do to your baby what this criminal did to you. It's how does that help? How is that helpful? Because even in the world they say 2 wrongs don't make it right? But in the case of rape, we think no. It's okay to do wrong against your child, to murder your child.
Yeah,
that's gonna make right what this guy did. No, it's not. It's gonna be, you're gonna add violence to violence. You don't add violence.
We'll pray on it after it's done.
Well, God won't hear your prayers when your hands are covered in blood, right? And we should just take God at His word. Trust the Lord. You're not trusting the Lord when you murder a child. Period. Because also.
Do you believe in God?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do you profess to be a Christian?
I was born Christian. I was raised a Christian. Not so much anymore. I'm not into religion at all. I'm more into spirituality. Because I think religion is designed to separate us, and it is. But every religion is obviously saying the same thing. They're just using different terminologies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it really, when we murder our children, including in the case of rape or incest, we're basically saying God makes mistakes, which is blasphemy. Because God doesn't make mistakes. You're saying the child should not be there. But even in those cases, in the midst of tragedy, those children are a gift, a blessing. I know this culture says no, a child's a burden and a curse. No, the Bible says that children are a gift and a blessing. And I've been around those children. I played with them. They're not curses. They're not burdens. They're helping their mom to heal from a terrible tragedy. And
what if that child come out looking exactly like the guy who the rape, the attacker?
I've not heard
You have to see your attacker every day.
Well,
that child start going.
Or you can see the image of God that God
You're
brings.
the one raising the child, not the. He's not gonna be could
but
look
it's still
alike.
a subconscious thing. Dang, this is.
Did this happen? Did this happen to you?
No, hell no.
Okay, I'm just asking.
I've been raped before, but no, I've never been pregnant.
Okay, because I'm asked that question a lot, and I just wonder if that's actually happened to someone, like the person who's asking me, because
no.
And sometimes it has happened, and I ask him, where's the rapist? Was he put to death? Is he in prison? And because it's one, and I'm not one thing that I don't know if I've ever had anyone ask me this is what should happen to the rapist, and I just find that interesting. And I'm not trying to put this in your face. Why does no one ever ask me what should happen to the rapist? It's it's always the baby. It's always we need to punish this baby to death for the sins of his father. But the Bible says that you don't don't punish the son for the sins of his father, and vice versa. But for the child conceived in rape, we say, you're going to die for the sins of your father. Your father's a criminal. You're going to die. We're going to put you to death. We're going to murder you because your father's a criminal.
Yeah.
And if we're going to do that, then if you know children conceived in rape, put them to death now. Why is it just in the womb that we murder them outside the womb, right?
I just think it's all about it's all into the perception of the woman, how she views the situation. Oh, my child's innocent, or the child's innocent, or I'm carrying a rapist baby that could become a rapist. When he grows older, he might look at the person that.
But you're the mom though at that point.
Man,
but what does God say? What does God say?
If I have a rape, that is I'm not the mother.
But what does God say about it?
I'm not the mother.
That's really what matters. Well,
now, if I have consensual sex and I have a oops baby, then yeah, I'm the mother, because I agreed to do that, and that's what happens sometimes.
do you think God makes mistakes?
It says that God doesn't make mistakes.
Well, if God doesn't make mistakes, then would you agree that that baby's not a mistake? Just something to think about.
It all sounds good, but I know that there's a lot of contradictions within the Bible. It says that
okay.
God is perfect, but
Yeah.
He's also a jealous God. How
But
can something perfect even sustain something like jealousy? I don't even have jealousy issues.
Well, God is jealous for his own glory.
I mean, that's kind of narcissistic, don't you think?
No, because
He chose to limit his power by giving everyone free will to choose to either, like, take care of the child. I'm just saying in the sense of like what we're talking about, like take care of the child or like kill the child. Like, he gave us the freedom to choose how we want to live our lives. So I mean, it could
if we did
be good with our lives or bad. Like he doesn't control those things. He gave us free will, so it's not really like.
Well, he is sovereign over everything, but he does give us free will. Otherwise, we would be robots.
Yeah.
And he does allow things like rape to happen because otherwise you wouldn't be able to love people if you don't have free will. But I mean, yeah, the fact is God doesn't make mistakes. That no child, no matter how they're created, is a mistake, and moms should love their children, and Christians should come alongside them if they need help and help them. You put the rapist to death, not the innocent party, the baby or the baby's mom, because that's not. Again, you're just adding violence to violence, and it's never profitable to sin against God, because you should trust that God knows what He's doing. God knows what He's doing when He put that baby in the mother's womb. If the baby's not created, then that's not God's will.
As bad as it sounds, yeah, but. Yeah,
Well, it always sounds bad because in this culture loves death and hates God, and that's why people think it's okay to murder babies. What's that?
What culture is that?
America.
Society and all that.
The
Like,
society.
That's something new that they're bringing over the universe. But yeah, back in the day, demonic things weren't shares. Nowadays it is.
All of Hollywood, all of it's demonic, all of it. Yeah.
Did that help answer your question on that?
It's a perspective, yeah.
Yeah, it's really what God says, because it's not the feelings of the mom, because our feelings change our feelings change, in a second, in an hour, and in this culture we put feelings over facts. That's why people say it's not.
True.
Like I've seen that on this campus. I've seen it so many times where people say that's not a baby, or we should do this, or it's a mother is carrying a child in her womb and she wants her child alive, but if she wants her child dead, it's no longer a human being. I mean, that's literally what I've come to see, is that if the mom wants her child alive, we say that's a child. If the mother wants her child dead, then it's all of a sudden a fetus in a glob of cells, not a human being. Think about that. Because think about this: if a mom takes her child to Planned Parenthood to have her baby murdered, or takes a pill, we say that's not a human being. But that same mom, if she dies, if she's attacked by someone and kills her and her child, we'd say that she's carrying a child, and the guy that attacks her gets charged with 2 counts of homicide, not 1. And we even have a federal law, the Unborn Victims of Violence Act is actually what it's called. It was a law signed in 2004 by President George Bush. It's actually, another name for the federal law is Lacey and Connor's law. Who was Lacey and Connor? Scott Peterson murdered his pregnant wife Lacey in 2004. Connor was their preborn child, and so he died in the process of his mom being murdered. That law, the federal law, is named partially after a preborn child, Connor. Think about that. We literally have a federal law named in part after a preborn child.
Let me ask you something. Are you married?
No, sir. Or
So
no, ma'am.
just say you were married and your wife got raped and became pregnant. Would you want her to keep that child?
We would love our child, and we would seek to have the rapist punished and put to death.
So you would keep the child and take care of it as your own?
Yeah. How could I do anything else?
As long as, like, at least you like agree that it is a life. Like, most people say, oh, it's not a life, it's not born yet. So like, at least you like.
Well, they say
realize.
after a certain period of time, it's not a life. You know, I think it's after, at the moment of conception, you have like a small window before it's actually, I guess, a body.
Well, at the moment of fertilization.
Like when it gets a heartbeat, like that window.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah. So like, I'll just say this, like, what constitutes as life on Mars? Like when they say, oh, like we found life on Mars, like the government's like, what do they say? What do they actually find on Mars? Like, did they find aliens or? Oh, okay, I'll just tell you.
They call them.
No, I'll just tell you. They say like, oh, they found water and like bacteria, so they say that's life on Mars. So like, a baby that's like growing inside of you is not life. Like.
But then if you're gonna say that, you got all kind of bacteria growing inside you, so you got a whole bunch of life going on inside.
Well, not human beings.
You know what I'm saying?
Right? Like we're.
But it's still, you know what I'm saying? From his case, it's still life.
But well, you do have. I mean, you have plants. You have plants that are life. You have animals that are life, but they're not human beings. Yeah. And so, human beings were made in God's image, and so that's why we have value. That's why it's wrong to murder people, because we're made in God's image. We're different. We're different from plants, animals, insects, bugs, because none of them are made in God's image. Human beings are. That's why it's wrong to murder another human being. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, the Bible says. For in the image of God he created man. And so, whether the mom just doesn't want to be, she wants her child dead, just after having sex, or in the case of rape or incest, that she should love her child. And yeah, she didn't consent to it, you know, in the case of rape or incest, but that child does not consent to being murdered, having his head cut off, and it's like someone's got to speak up for that child. So that's what I'm doing, is speaking up for these children, because we live in a culture that hates children. And again, Mother's Day is coming up in a week and a half, right?
Take care.
I'll see you.
Nice talking to you.
Keep
up the good work.
Thanks for talking.